Hey guys, let's go over the rules and steps for adding integers. So the sample problem that we're going to start with is, we'll put it in red so you guys can see it, is 12 plus 5. So we are going to do 12 plus 5. And remember on the rules or the steps, whatever you want to call them, the first one is that the first number tells us where to start. Okay, so the first number is 12, and we're going to find 12 on our number lines. There's 10, 11, there's 12, and that tells us where to start. And then the second step here is that the operation, so this operation right here, the operation tells us which way to face. So addition tells us to face to the right, and subtraction tells us to face to the left on a horizontal number line. So 12 plus 5, so now because of this we are facing right, we're adding. And then the third thing to keep in mind is the second number, or the last number. The second number tells us how many steps to take. And if we should walk backwards or forward. We walk backwards or forwards. So what that means, right, is if it's a negative number, we walk backwards. And if it's a positive number, we walk forward. So for this problem that we're working with, let's say, okay, so it's a positive number, so we're going to walk forward. We're facing this way, and we're just going to take 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are at 17. Okay, on the next example, we'll talk about what it's like if we need to walk backwards, but let's do this one with a chip and tile model really quick. So same thing, that first number tells us where to start. We're going to start with 12 positive chips. Remember, our positive chips either look like this or like this, and our negative chips look like this or they're filled in. Make sure that there's a difference between your positive and your negative chips. Okay, so we start with 12 positives. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there's 12. And then we're adding 5 more positive chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. None of those cancel out, so we're left with 17 chips. Remember, when we are adding, that means that we are combining 2 things or numbers. Okay, so pause the video if you need to and make sure you're all caught up and understand what's going on. Okay, hopefully you're all caught up, you're ready to move on. So the next one that we're going to do negative 15 plus negative 4. So looking at our steps, okay, first step tells us where to start. We're going to start at negative 15, right there. And then the sign tells us which way to face, so we're facing to the right because we're adding. And when we add, we face to the right. And then that second number tells us how many steps we take. So we're going to take 4 steps, but because it's a negative, we're going to walk backwards. So if we are facing to the right, we're facing this way, we need to walk backwards 4 steps because it's a negative. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we walked backwards, and that put us at -19. Okay, so that tells us which, like if we step forward or backwards. Now we're going to try this with a chip and tile. So we're going to start with 15 negative chips. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 15 negative chips, and we're going to add 4 more negatives. So if this was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, we still have 19 negative chips. Remember that the only time they can cancel out is if you have 1 positive and 1 negative chip together, because that's called a 0 pair. And it actually has no value because they cancel each other out. But 2 negatives don't cancel each other out. So that's just a quick review on adding.